So you have your garden, and as I explained when we put it in, we don't want to use any pesticides or herbicides on a LEHR garden. So the question then is, how do we handle pests and diseases? With a LEHR garden, that process again is pretty much automated. We use a process called integrated pest management. And so the first step of that is to deal with the health of the plant. Okay, so we want healthy soil to create healthy plants, and so the soil that we put in there is designed to foster the production of those beneficial microorganisms that are going to help your plant grow healthier. If a healthy plant has a healthy immune system, which leaves it more able to resist pests and diseases. Typically, you're only going to get a problem if you have the change of season. So all of a sudden, if it goes from spring to summer and it gets really hot, you get a 20-degree temperature change or something, that'll stress the plant out, and you may run into a little bit of a problem. Or if the plant is at the end of its lifespan, in which case it's time to just pull the plant out and put something else in its space. So the tricky part then is to not just improve the health of the plant, but you also want to have the beneficial insects arriving and wanting to stay in your garden. So that's the other part of integrated pest management, is planting a good biodiversity. So if you plant just a monoculture, so if you just put broccoli in a LEHR garden, then what's going to happen is it's going to draw in those pests that like broccoli. But if you plant broccoli and tomatoes and cilantro and lettuce and flowers and all of these other things, that's going to actually create habitat, and those predatory insects will come in, because sometimes at one part of their lifespan they like to eat aphids, and another part they'll be pollinators. And so you want to have all of those different pieces present, so that those different beneficial insects will be welcomed to come into your garden and move in and have babies and stay. And once they have stayed, then your pest problems are generally at an end. Nothing's absolute, certainly not in biology. I will tell you, one of the pests that tends to be a problem is what's called a squash bug. They tend to attack squashes, sometimes cucumbers and melons, but they really kind of prefer squashes. Unfortunately, a squash bug, you can't even spray it, because the sprays, they just sort of laugh off sprays. They're a little gray and red bug that's about that big, and they will destroy your things. The best way to do is to hand pick it. Sometimes if you can get praying mantis, sometimes will eat it, but otherwise they're kind of hard to get, and even spraying doesn't really help. I wish I had better answers for you on that one, but that's one that nearly everybody struggles with. So, but for the most part, I know for my purposes, I've been operating a LEHR garden for about 12 years now, and I've never sprayed any pesticides ever. And I've lost just a handful of plants to it. So for the most part, it tends to work really well.